Hello, and welcome to the Elder Scrolls Solstein. It feels kinda weird saying it like that, doesn't it? Well, what do we know about this area? It's a cave and it's cleared. Okay. Oh, I've just been noticed. Well, we have to kill everyone. Such a pity. Oh, right. I have to wait. It was a very loud shout last time, so we're still feeling the effects of it. Do you remember in Oblivion there was an outward attempt to break a lock? I would often resort to that when I have a lock that I am not... Did something hit me from somewhere? I have no idea what just happened. Yeah, I can't be bothered with a lock, and I just would use that because I have plenty of locks in my inventory. So weak. And where is he? I cannot see him from here. There is a bed in there. Okay, ultimate healing. Maybe. There is one more. Come on, find him. He may have fallen out of grace. Pain, but not so bad. I can't believe it. Nirnroot. Even here, I can find remnants of the old world. The familiar tone. I see him. I can't climb this. One would say that he's very lucky, but unfortunately for him I can summon my horse. My horse can climb anything. Okay, Arvak. Up for a mountain climbing, mate? How did you even get up here? Way too simple. What just happened? Oh, okay. I see. I accidentally casted a spell again. The sky looks different, and even the waters have this unnatural green taint on it. I wouldn't actually... Ashen Grasspot. Haven't seen you before, mate. Let's take a look. Ash Creep Cluster. I know that I don't need the Nirnroot, there's no specific quest for it, but when I hear this hum, I am instantaneously attracted to it. The sea looks a bit angry with me. Is this where the town is supposed to be? Yes. Okay. Let's eat one of those creep clusters. Damages stamina. You know, at times like this, I kinda wish I hadn't wasted my points on other stuff. Wait, how many points do I have? 7. It's still not worth it. Tramarut. Yeah, I'm pronouncing this correctly. Why? Club meat. Okay. What are you? Okay. Looking for pearls. None found. That is very interesting. Very interesting indeed. So, what is this temple over there? It caught my eye the second I entered, so Stein. Can we speak?
That they have forgotten.
Well, you look sane. Let's talk to someone else.
Here do we toil.
Good for you.
You there. You don't seem to be in quite the same state as the others here. Very interesting.
Here we recline.
May I ask what it is you're doing here?
What faithless
Oh, dude, don't say that you're looking for Mirak. Everything else is creepy. They're definitely gonna attack you when you say that. Okay.
Mirak. It sounds familiar, and yet I can't quite place... Oh, wait, I recall. But that makes very little sense. Mirak's been dead for thousands of years.
Dead.
I'm not sure,
grows ever
but it
near
is
to us.
fascinating, isn't it? Perhaps it has some relation to what's going on here. Quite unexpected. I'm afraid I can't give you any answers, but there are ruins of an ancient temple of Mirax toward the center of the island. If I were you, I'd look there.
Well, that sounds intriguing. What are these people doing?
Building something, clearly. And yet they don't seem to have much to say about it.
Now through
I'm
them
very
shall
interested to find out what happens when they finish.
And when the world shall listen,
Okay, but if they summon a demon and kill everyone, you'll be the one to blame. Have you tried to stop them?
Certainly not. Doing so would interfere with whatever is going on, and I would be unable to see how this all turns out.
and when the world remembers,
This reminds me of a movie where someone was just gonna kill someone else and I was like, yeah, give him some time, I'm curious to see what's gonna happen. What can you tell me about Morrowind?
Red Mountain dominates the island. Every now and then, ash and debris from an eruption land on our shore.
That they have forgotten.
There is the big island of Ardenfell and the coastal mainland. House Telvanni has its properties on Vardenfell. I've never been to the mainland myself.
House Telvanni, that sounds incredibly familiar. Weren't they extinct? I remember reading about something like that.
we recline.
That's that then.
Okay.
What by day far from ourselves, he grows ever near to us. Our eyes once were blinded.
That seems inadvisable. Oh well, fascinating. By touching the stone, you appear to have fallen under whatever influence is affecting the others.
Through them do I speak.
I wonder how long this effect
And
will
when
last.
the world shall
Perhaps it's
see you.
permanent, as with the others.
And that's why we don't touch weird stone, kids.
That would be a shame.
That
You are an
world
interesting
will
exception.
cease
Otherwise,
to be.
universal phenomenon.
That you have forgotten.
Ah, so you are able to resist the effect by exerting your will. Fascinating. I would not advise touching the stone again. The effects of repeated contact could be... Unless, of course, you'd like to contribute to my investigation. It could be very enlightening to observe you.
We might remember.
Well, that wasn't
My
good.
day was stolen.
Still.
Far from ourselves.
Now I do see the subtitles that are never gonna disappear apparently. My stamina doesn't regenerate on its own. I need to use magic. My magicka does regenerate because I have an amulet and a ring which I haven't equipped, but I might need to. Let's get indoors. That will actually help me a little bit. East Indian Company. So, where may I ask? Are that man and his wife to draw? Was it a draw? No, those were in Dungeons and Dragons. I mean, different skinned elves. Definitely different species than the normal ones. Like humans, am I right? Let's see. No. Ashyam. Yam.
I work for Mogrel. You got a problem, you talk to him.
Was I in here before? The wretched niche.
Teldrin Sero, blade for hire. If you have the coin, I'm at your service.
Well, I do have the coin, but I need no companions.
Now, if you'll excuse me.
Welcome to the Wretched Corner Club, my lady. If you need anything, Master Geldis will be happy to help you.
Okay, do you know Mirak?
Did I know someone by that name? Someone that wanted something.
What did he want? Speak.
Maybe I'm just confused. I can't be sure.
Charming.
Welcome to the Wretched Niche, Outlander. What can I get you?
Well, Yorian has an unusual name,
There's actually a funny story behind the name, friend.
as always.
A few years ago, I was walking down by the docks, and I noticed a Dunmer staggering along with a bottle of Sujamma in hand. He was one of my patrons and liked to drink heavily, so I wasn't exactly surprised. But you see, this particular Dunmer was as naked as the day he was born, and singing badly at the top of his lungs. As I'm watching this spectacle, a netch floats over the bulwark towards him. The man looks straight up at the netch, yells, "Have a drink," and tosses the bottle. And it never hit the ground.
So, what did Nekch do?
Well, the bottle broke on the netch, and it must have swallowed its contents because it started floating sort of tilted. Finally, it stopped and began to quiver. A few moments later, the foulest liquid to ever assail your nostrils spewed from its maw. I've seen plenty of drunks in me day, and I'll tell you right now, that netch was sick.
That really was a long story.
True story, friend. True story.
Heard any rumors lately?
With the mine shut down, there's no telling how much longer Ravenrock's going to last. Hopefully, Councillor Morvain has a plan.
Maybe I can speak with him.
The Redoran Guard have spotted a pack of werewolves in the mountains. The hunters up on Frostmoon Crag might know more.
Now this is interesting. Anything else?
Haven't heard anything lately. But check back with me. You never know.
So, what's the specialty of the house?
The finest Sujamma to cross your lips, friend. My own personal formula that I call Sadri's Sujamma. In fact, I've just added some new ingredients to the mixture that I think makes it taste better than ever. All I need to do is get the word out that it's ready, and they'll flock here for it.
So you basically invented Coca-Cola and decided to improve the recipe. Wonderful. I could help spread the word.
I was kinda hoping you'd say that. Here, Take these samples of the Sujama and spread the word. If you get rid of all of them, there's something extra in it for you.
Sunjama. So we are going street to street spreading alcohol to the people. And that sounds about right. The Reclamation. The destruction of Vivek City and the subsequent eruption of the Red Mountain was not just a crisis in terms of physical destruction it caused, it also cut deeply into the ancient religious beliefs of the Dunmer. The fall of the minority of Truth was the last straw in the tottering support of the temple's worship of Alamaxia, Satha, Sil, and Vivek. With all three of the Taribians now widely believed dead or dispersed, that had been similarly schism as schism within the ranks of the temple priesthood, burst into open. While outsiders may never know the full tale of this internal struggle, when the smoke cleared a few years later, the former dissident priests were in full control of the temple hierarchy. With Tamriel lawless either purged or reacted, the so-called New Temple now declared the worship of the tribunals as a result of a misguided teaching, blaming the mistakes on the former tribunal. The temple, now thought to be the Daedra vanguard of the Ashenlander tribe, Azura, Mafhala, and Bathela, were the true way, and should be revered by the Dunmer people. Fittingly, the Daedra were named their reclamations, as if they were reclaiming their statues of the tribunals. In an elegant compromise, no doubt intended to reconcile the large majority of the temple priesthood, who were neither dissidents of the fanatic tribunal lawless, Alamaxia, Sithas, Sil, and Vivek were relegated to the status of saints, a tradition way to venerate the most honored Dunmer ancestor. This apparently satisfied enough of the existing priesthood that the new temple was able to mount a last semblance of outward community. The rise of a new temple almost completely vindicated the previously persecuted Ashenlanders, who had continued to worship the three Daedra throughout the tribunal's rule. The Ashenlanders are now landed as the keepers of the old ways and having true vision. It is now quite common for many of the Dunmer people to make the Adron's pilgrimage into the Ash Waste to seek the counsel of the wise women. These women have supposedly opened the eyes of those who they claimed were blinded by the tribunal, and directly connect the eruption of the Red Mountain and the Argonian invasion to the anger of the three Daedra, housed in the Rielle, whose fortune were to intertwine with the tribunal temple, suffered greatly from its fall. While House Indriel still technically exists, the priesthood of the temple are now considered one and the same with House Indriel. Those who become priests are now considered to have joined Indriel. The political power of Indriel has thus passed entirely into the hands of the temple. Okay, that's some bad spelling, I believe. Although members of the old house Indriel are still overrepresented in the priesthood, the rise of the new temple has numbers interesting parallels with the rise of the house of Redaran. Each filled the vacuum of power resulting from the crisis of Red Deer. How durable these new arrangements will prove, religious and political, remains to be seen. The span of 2 centuries is quite brief in the long history of the ancient Dunmer. 200 years is a long time. An empire can rise and fall for 100 years. Trust me, I've played Crusader Kings too, I know. Okay, and where does that door lead? Sanjama. Okay, we have places to be, people to talk to, and to offer them drinks.
Welcome to the Rutching Net. Sorry, Gildas won't allow me to drink while I'm working at Vanetch.
Cool.
Alright then.
Well, I guess you won't find this place. if you're already in it.
Just remember who's in charge around.
Miserable. Just miserable. Oh, I hate this place.
How about a drink?
At least my father will let me drink whatever I want without complaining. Tell Geldis I appreciate it.
So, you don't like it in Solstheim?
Don't like it. I hate it. Every day it's the same thing. We open the shop, we hardly sell a thing, we close the shop and go to sleep. What kind of a life is that?
Why not return to Morrowind?
Oh, believe me, I'd be on the first ship off this miserable island if I could. But I'm not sure I could do that to my father. I think it would break his heart. We've already lost my mother. I don't want to leave him alone.
I am sorry about your mother. How did she die?
We lived in a settlement, perhaps a league from the border of Black Marsh, the homeland of the Argonians. Even though the Argonian invasion ended a long time ago, there are still a few scale-skinned clans that live within our borders. To put it simply, they attacked our settlement and slaughtered almost everyone. It was horrible.
Okay, thank you. Do you want to come with me? I could protect you for a time being.
Keep yourself safe. Solstheim's still a dangerous
I work for Moke.
I'll give you this warning only once. Take that swill and pour it down a well. Fight well.
Always nice to speak to someone from... Sure, got nothing better to do.
Yeah, got nothing better to do, better drink up.
Welcome to Raven Rock, traveler. Could I interest you in any fine ash-grown foods? Always a pleasure to taste anything Geldis comes up with.
And if we
Next time
return
you're
10
hungry,
days
stop
later,
by.
they would all turn into something.
always
Hello,
have
you're a
food for
vampire,
sale.
aren't you?
Oh, hello. You looking for a handout or something?
Yes, but let's go back to business.
Well, tell Geldis that Miri says she really appreciates it. Next time, then.
Hey, did you say something?
Hey, dear beggar, would you like a drink?
You'll have to speak up. I'm a little deaf in my right ear.
Miserable. Just miserable. Oh, I hate this place. Keep
Merkel
yourself
doesn't
safe.
lend coin to Altmer.
My
My wife and I are doing the best we can to keep Raven
Right, I already spoke with you.
I hope
And you?
enjoy your stay
Next
in
time you're
Raven Rock.
hungry,
Want
stop
to
by.
buy anything? Geldis needs to bottle this up and send it to the mainland instead of wasting his time out here. His drinks are outstanding. Thanks. The East Empire pendants are scattered all over, so leave no stone.
Why you're leading Cretius on? Well, that sounds lovely. Thank you. Be careful out there.
It really shows off how little people there are in this town. I mean, I have what,
I
10
work for
bottles?
Mokel. You got a problem? You talk to
And
him.
half of the people I spoke with are just kind of horrible. We were in the abandoned building before. Maybe let's take it to the Yarrow of this place. I know it's technically not a Yarrow here, but old habits
Give you
die
this warning
hard.
only once. Stay out of my way, and we'll do just fine.
You
This
looking for
island's
trouble?
nothing but a pile of
Stay
rubble.
out
Find
of
my
my
pickaxe.
What's the point trying to-
Perfect. I was just thinking about heading over for a drink. Thanks for saving me the trip.
Cheers, mate. I have your ancient pickaxe.
So, you finally tracked down old Cretius, eh? Quite a character, isn't he? Tell you what, since you went through all the trouble of finding it for me and all, you keep it.
You're kidding me.
I just wanted to remind that codger you can't just go around taking things from other people. Now that you've delivered the message, I'm satisfied. Besides, that pickaxe hasn't done me any good in years. Maybe you can put it to good use.
Ha, joke's on you. I was gonna keep it anyway.
Bring your weapons and armor to me.
Okay, let's see, where is this? Return to this
I'll
guy.
fix it up right.
Yes, I said that I don't want any markers, but I honestly want to see where he is. Thank you. We've been to the tomb. Corellius' house.
You lost?
No, I'm not lost.
You're back. Please, tell me what you found.
Well, here you go.
Let me see that. Huh, I knew it. Gratian's death wasn't because of a rock fall. It was just a story to keep people away from the tombs. Now that I have his journal in hand, I can get some closure from the East Empire Company. Make them pay for lying to everyone.
No, you really can't do anything about that.
Thank you. Now, I believe I owe you a little more than a debt of gratitude for all that work you did. Here, it's not much, but it's the best an old retired miner can do.
Right, I have something for you as well.
He's begging for patrons again, eh? Well, I suppose I could have just a bit.
Well, you're 80. What better do you have to do? So, tell me about your family.
Our home has stood in Raven Rock since the colony was founded. Grayson helped build it with his own 2 hands. After Grayson died, he left behind a wife and a son. My grandfather, Relicus. Relicus lived there for quite a long time, working in the other sections of the mine until he was slain by Reavers.
And your parents are?
I never knew my father. My mother and I always lived alone. I asked her about him many times, but she seemed angry and refused to speak about him. So eventually, I let it go. When I was old enough, I began working in the mine, hoping to make my fortune and eventually move to the Imperial city.
Okay.
Unfortunately, yes. I only had enough coins saved to send one of us back to the Imperial city. So I sent my mother alone. I wanted her to see her homeland before she died.
Okay, I know that you're a human and you're 80 and your mother is probably dead, but there is a very high possibility chance that she might not be a human but an elf.
Until I met my darling Aphia, yes. I suppose you could have called me a bitter old hermit. Now I'm just old.
Are there any other Imperials in the Raven Rock? In Raven Rock.
Those cowards left decades ago. Every single damned one of them. The moment the ebony mine dried up, they pulled up stakes. Ridiculous.
Ridiculous? Why?
Solstheim is still rich in ebony ore. I know there's more down there. I can smell it. I come from 3 generations of miners, and I'm telling you that the East Empire Company was wrong. They just didn't want to spend the coin trying to find it.
Okay, first I have bad news for you. I was down there was no ebony ore. Also, I have good news. There was this blue ore that is incredibly rare.
Mark my words. Raven Rock isn't finished.
Speaking of which, let's take a look at that, shall we? It's in Misks, right? Oh, the Black Soul gem is filled. That's nice. We also have 2 petty ones. Sauron, look at the value of that thing. Payment for my services. Anyway. Gratian, I would appreciate if you could help us with a situation we've encountered in Raven Rock. It seems that the miners there have stumbled across... Yes, we spoke about this. It's nothing interesting. Again, I want to purchase a house, so... let's go and enter this building. It's the only one we haven't been to.
Manor over at the Iron Farm should be still mixing potions if you're seeking that sort of thing. Far west end of town.
Would you like a drink? I'm asking because you're a guardsman and you have to stay up all night. I mean, who wouldn't like the drink more than the guard, right? I don't know why, but it looks so much like snow. They did cover the ash, so maybe it's not exactly sand. I mean, it can be black sand, if it was black. Again, white sand as well. Wonderful. Okay.
Fine.
Fun and jump. Oh, I didn't even get hurt there. Cool. Let's enter the temple and see what we can find in there. Oh, that's a temple. I didn't even realize before I entered. They are offering fruits and monies to the gods. You know, sometimes things never change in different cultures. Anyway. History of Raven Rock, Volume 1. It's not stealing it, no one saw me. Is there anyone in here? Let's see. Detect life. Oh.
Excuse me, but the temple is for followers of our faith alone. Outsiders aren't welcome here.
I brought alcohol.
Get that vile liquid away from me. Non-believers are never welcome here.
Well, aren't you all charm and sunshine? There's someone upstairs. Maybe he will give me a quest.
Are you here to pray? Or perhaps pay your respects at our ancestral tomb?
I read about your reclamations. Can you tell me more about them?
The reclamations are the true tribunal. The Daedra that consecrate the Dunmer people. Azur, Methala, and Boethia. We call them the true tribunal because they have reclaimed their place in our hearts from the false tribunal that came before.
The false tribunal.
Sotha Sil, Amalexia, and Vivek represent what was. Beings who won the Dunmer people's hearts with their actions, but blinded them just the same. They were aberrations, false prophets. They used their status as heroes to shield the true tribunal from our minds. But now that they've been destroyed, the light can finally shine upon the House of Reclamations.
Cool. I do like your robes. Do you sell them?
They're where we inter our dead. They are sacred places, meant to honor their passing. Sadly, we've been unable to use the ancestral tomb beneath the temple as of late, and have resorted to other locations to scatter the remains.
Why can't you use the tomb? Like I don't know.
Those foul vermin, the abominations we call ash spawn, have risen from the ashes of our own ancestors. They're befouling the memories of our forefathers by defiling their remains.
I can cleanse the tomb for you.
Thank you, Wanderer. That would be most kind. Here, this key should open the door to the tomb.
How do the Dunmer bury their dead?
The Dunmer race doesn't bury their dead, or leave them to rot inside a stone sarcophagus. When a Dunmer passes, his body is given to fire, so he might return to the ash from whence he came. The Dunmer don't believe that death is the end. We believe that it's the beginning.
Okay, surfer dude.
Be cautious, friend. The ash spawn are soulless beings with no regard for compassion.
We still have to give away alcohol. They are not exactly live, are they? So, our spawn. Wow, they're creepy. And their dead animation is cool. Also, they burn when you hit them, and when they hit you as well. Spawnash. Okay. And they are made out of ore as well. Not just ore, also precious crystals, materials I can use to make jewelry. Ooh, that was pretty. So, this is how they rise from the dead. Emulator. Ow. Okay, you're dead. Okay, more of them. Wait, what was that? Quicksilver ore. Interesting. Is that all? I can keep killing you all day. Skirmishing. Great, they're all dead. Now, let's loot the tomb. The ancestral tomb, we've been there. And where do you lead? That's the temple. There was one more door that I haven't visited yet. And where do you lead? Ulan, ancestral tomb. Does that lead to Soul's time? Yes, it does. Shockingly enough, there is no one in here who can help me or give me stuff for something I actually have done already. Oh, I so love adventuring. You meet all kinds of different icky creatures that you can slaughter. Unfortunately, those guys had no blood, so I couldn't drain them. Such a pity. Okay, that broke, but no worries. There you go, we have plenty of lockpicks. Ah, my blood, it burns, and there is a bird there. Let's go.
The entire island isn't covered in ash. Yeah, so, what can I get you? Got everything
You
from
look able
potions
to
to
venture
pitchforks.
outside of town. Perhaps you could help me recover something precious that was lost?
Here, have a drink. Tell me all about it.
Oh, how kind. Thank Gelders for me, won't you?
Right. Now, you mentioned something that you lost.
A few months ago, I had sent an important folio to the first edition bookshop in the Imperial city to be rebound. They sent it back to me recently, but it never arrived.
Ah, so it's aboard a ship, and it's a book, so it's probably fish food right now.
Yes, the strident squall, or something like that. The damn thing sunk right off the coast of Solstheim. Can you imagine?
Yes. I've seen plenty of things like that.
One of the sailors survived. Poor thing crawled all the way to Raven Rock on his hands and knees. Before he died, he told the Redoran Guard about the wreck and warned us that it was going to be crawling with reavers.
A reaver. Okay. I'm interested in killing reavers.
Thank you. You have no idea how much it hurts losing such a precious heirloom. My husband is second counselor, so I certainly have the
I'll give you this warning only once. Stay out of my way, and we'll do just fine.
Hello, have I spoken with you yet?
Can't thank you enough for reopening the ebony mines. You've brought light to the darkness, my friend.
Okay, how are things now that the mines are opened again?
You might think it's all perfume and roses now that the mine's open. But all I see is a new security problem on our hands. Making sure those shipments of ebony make it safely from the mine to the shipping docks is my new order of the day. And with Solstheim crawling with reavers and Azora knows what else, I can't risk any attacks on Ravenrock.
Man, that's tough. Here, have a drink on me.
What? Oh, no, thank you. I need to keep my head clear. I appreciate the help you've been giving us.
I work for Mogrel. You got a problem, you talk to him.
Aelor's house. Right, let's go back to the temple and report our success. So, this is just like Skyrim. No one likes anyone here, unless they are dark elves.
I am Arthroloth, elder of the reclamations and keeper of this temple.
Okay, are you gonna introduce yourself every time I walk by?
Spirits be praised. I'm hoping you didn't suffer much at the hands of those foul beings. Please, accept this as a token of my thanks.
2,000 gold. That's amazing. So now we are blessed by Mafala. I don't exactly know what that means. Do you want a drink? I don't know if I asked you already. Apparently not.
Of a new age and the downfall of the false tribunal. You may get that vile liquid away from me.
Okay, I forgot how many we've given away.
Are never welcome here.
I'm not an unbeliever. I'm a champion of all the Daedra that you can mention, including Azura and Mafala, I think.
You can go where you please. But I'd say
Your actions here have always a pleasure to taste anything Geldis comes up with.
Okay, what do you have for sale?
All sorts of useful things. Feel free to browse.
Ancient Nord arrows. Keeping that. I have to keep that as well because it's pretty. My, that's an expensive ugly mask.
Next time you're hungry, stop by. I always have plenty of food for sale.
Okay, which one of you was the innkeeper? And the house looks pretty, actually. I didn't notice that before. The abandoned house, the only unique building in the entire town. Severin Manor. I don't think I've been here before.
You lost?
Oh wait.
You've brought so much hope to our people. We are forever in your debt.
Oh, hello. You looking for
May
a handout
path
or
be
something?
free from danger.
Next time,
then. Okay. There is a door here. Great. So same.
My father and mother are the richest on the island, and that includes Councillor Morvain. My father and mother are the richest on the island.
Councillor Morgan. Is that the guy that actually introduced us to the city? The Retching Neck. Yep, that's the inn, alright. I remember the name, it was stupid.
You got a problem, you talk to him. Murgrel doesn't lend coin to outlanders. Look somewhere
Welcome
else.
to the Retching Neck Corner Club, my lady. If you need anything, Master Geldis will be happy to help you.
Okay.
Watch what you're doing.
Sorry.
Welcome to the Retching Neck Corner Club. Perfect. All that's left now is to go ahead and wait for the patrons to come in. As promised, here's a little something for yourself.
How are the things now that the mines are opened?
How do you think? It's a blessing. I've got regular paying customers again. Thirsty workers at the end of the day, and more coin than I can count. Safe travels, Outlander.
And still I have no house to...
Yep. Vendel Severin. A pleasure to meet you, Serial.
Pleasure to meet you, sir. Right. So I can actually sleep in a coffin. I mean, I can sleep anywhere. But I prefer coffins. They offer me the perfect comfort from all sides. The sun can penetrate them, and they are soft from the inside. And look sufficiently creepy so that no one would disturb my rest. Okay, where to next? There is an abandoned house somewhere close by. I bet there is a skill book inside, or maybe not. Maybe they took a lesson from their books and stopped handing them for no good reason. Don't know if the music is new, but it certainly feels cool. What the hell? Okay, first this mine, we're very close to it anyway. Hey. Journal of Laris Sandres, Volume 1. Moving to Solsheim next chasing after vague rumors of this Cobjorn barrow. My patron seems confident we can find the relics of Azithau out here. I'm a bit skeptical. But so long as he pays well, I'll dig whenever the old coat likes. Initial prospects look poor, to say the least. I was sure I had my map wrong at first, until it became clear that the place had just been lost to the ash. I'll dig out as much as I can, maybe see if I can recruit some of the local residents to help me out. I haven't seen anyone since I got out of Raven Rock, but I keep hearing conversations and whispers around me, so I just need to track them down.
Sirrah.
What's the matter with you? I see that you have one quality pickaxe and one not so quality pickaxe.
With me? What's the matter with you? Sorry, I've just had a lot of hawk-faced cowards coming by to mock my efforts. It probably can't hurt to tell you. You look mostly honest. The name's Rollis. Rollis Sedaris, out of Moorhold. I've got a financier waiting for me back on the mainland. Sent me here in the interests of obtaining some rare antiquities. The relics of Arsenal. But this whole thing became a disaster right quick, let me tell you.
I am listening.
You come out of the northern ashlands, you don't expect things to go easy, you know. But this was something outside my particular expertise. When I first got to Cobjorn, you couldn't even see it. Buried in the ash, like most other things on this blasted island. Dug out a pile of the stuff taller than me just to find the barrow. Who knows how much to reach the door. Excavating isn't exactly my specialty. Even if it was, the ash storms fill it in faster than you can dig.
Why not hire some more help?
You think I've got that kind of money? No, I only get paid on delivery. Can't afford to go out of pocket for 1,000 centimes on this. Takes money to make money, all that rot. There's a lot of it at the other end. But I can't get there without a little kick to start it off.
Oh, well, I have money I can throw away. How does 70,000... Oh, 1,000 is enough, okay.
What, are you serious? Well, I think I could make that work. We can sort out the details of our little arrangement later. But for now, I'll manage the dig if you can manage the coin. Do you have the gold?
Yes. You can say that I earned it by not killing someone I didn't like.
It's all here. Well then, looks like I have a good bit of work to start on. I'll head back to Raven Rock and round up some diggers. Once we've got something worth looking at, I'll send word to you. Pleasure doing business with you, partner. I'll see you soon.
Right. Next. There is also a ship there. I believe this is the ship I need to visit to get that artifact we're looking for. Not artifact, I don't remember what it was.
Must have run off.
Yeah, that's...
Thanks. I wasn't sure I'd make it off this farm.
That's the reason you're still alive, they ran off.
I wish I could have...
What is this? Declaration of war. I mean, it's pretty.
The same from...
Declaration of war, there you are. Raven Rock Stronghold, my calls to the unconditional surrender to your forces and an impending cessation of all hostilities has been ignored numerous times. I therefore have no choice but to assume your proposal known time is hostile and no threat to Raven Rock's stronghold. As an enemy of the Empire, I warn you, any attempt to breach Fort Frostfront will be met with an equal level of aggression. I will do everything in my power to wipe you and your forces off the face of Tamriel. There will be no further communications between us. Bye.
Man here. I wish I could have said the same for my man here.
Yes, tell me about those things.
Some of the Redoran Guard have taken to calling them Ashspawn. Me, I don't care what they're called. All I know is they're a danger to Raven Rock and they need to be stopped.
How did you bring you to this old farm? How did that bring you here?
I was going to search for clues that might lead me to wherever they're coming from. I know it isn't the best place to start, but we know they've been coming from this direction.
Okay, I can lend you a hand.
Good. I can use all the help I can get. Besides, I don't feel comfortable leaving Raven Rock behind. And I'd hate to lose any more Redoran Guard.
Very well, where do I begin?
We were searching the farm when the Ashspawn ambushed us. Have a look around and see if you can turn up anything useful.
I discovered this note on one of the Ashspawn.
This is strange. The note says it's from General Folks Carius, but that's impossible.
Yes, I figured that.
Well, Carius was the Imperial garrison commander at Fort Frostmoth, but he died over 200 years ago when the Red Mountain leveled the place. There's no way he could still be alive.
Yes, ghosts do not exist.
If General Carius is still alive, there must be something keeping him that way. I need you to head out to Fort Frostmoth and check it out. I'm going to head back to Raven Rock and prepare the men for further assaults.
So, how are the things now that the mines are opened again?
I've had to muster some more men to protect the mine, but I don't really have a problem with that. Second Councillor Arano is concerned that once word reaches the Reavers that the mine has reopened, they might think about paying us a visit. I say let them try. My men are ready for them.
Good.
Be careful. This General Carius sounds out of his mind.
I see some sort of a fort there. What is this? Hearthstone. I don't even know what to use that for. And I'm a master smith. Let's take a look at that ore. It looks quite unique. Looks like a bullet from an old gun, doesn't it? What the? Ashhopper? Ashhopper jelly. Oh yeah, that was a bit of an overreaction. Just hit him once with the mace and he's dead. Don't need to bash on him again and again. This is not Mortal Kombat. So sad. Strange little box. With a gold emerald ring. Keeping that? God only knows why there was a gold emerald ring in this outpost, but it's mine now. I've claimed it. Right. Not attacked, so let's continue. So, why haven't we discovered guns? I mean, there is ore that literally cannot actually stop burning. So I don't think we need gunpowder. Ashen grass pot. And torchbox. So, what is this ship about? There is a fence here. It's been here for a long time. Also, there are dead things. Whoa, okay.
That's a very... Hey, watch it!
I mean, I came with... Right, I came with the intentions of just looting the ship, but you guys attacked me for no good reason. Sorry to say, I don't tolerate... Ow. Did I just kill him by hitting his foot with my mace? Yes, it's possible. I wish you could cut stuff off them. That would have been amazing. Hey, 2 more of those gold emerald rings. This must be my lucky day. So this ship crashed, but it's not underwater, mostly. The Guardian and the Traitor. Sounds interesting. The history of Morrowind. Okay, I'll go there in a moment. I will need to equip my Breathe Underwater helmet. And the chest. The Lost Argonian Maid Folio. The Lost Argonian Maid. That's the script you wanted to translate. You should feel ashamed of yourself. Alrighty. Is there anything else I need to find in this ship? There was a red guy here. He does have a curved... well, a scimitar. Yeah, I know how a curved sword is called. And you were about to eat a giant's toe. Do you have a journal that explains everything? It seems like you blockaded yourself from the other side. And they just left you there. Or maybe they shot you with an arrow. Doesn't seem like you have any arrows. You may have killed yourself, actually, now that I think about it. You have an apple. The Wolf Queen. Boots and Silver and Moonstone. Cyclo, okay. Yeah, no, that's fine. Let's continue exploring and adventuring. This never gets old now, does it? Skeleton with 3 gold, good. Good. And another chest. So close to level 100. This is amazing. Okay, can't use you, unfortunate. Let's jump down and continue to walk forward. For a moment there, I thought someone was chasing me. There was a fort in the distance. I bet this is the place we need to visit. Crodov's house. There is Hearthstone in here. My armor just grew dark. At that moment, I knew that I was surrounded by enemies. Cowardly enemies, apparently. Do you have a weapon in you? Just asking. No, just gold ore. So they have some kind of a weapon made of ash that burns out when you kill them. This is quite intriguing. Oh look, boy's grey tunic. Are you sure it's boys? It just looks kinda weird to me. Anyway, there is a fort right there in the distance. There's another one right there as well. I have a question. Can I kill you? Definitely could take it down. Neck jelly. And you actually have the things I need. Thank you. Bring the neck jelly to Milor. To Myler. I'm gonna call you Milor. It sounds funny. Fort Frostmoth was discovered. Very well. Let's clear it of enemies, and there seem to be plenty of them. That was a nice fireball, it actually hit me, I think. So, can you call them skirmishers if they are throwing fireballs at you? I am fine. They can't stand before me.
Men, an invader has entered the fort. Prepare yourselves for an ambush.
Is he speaking directly in my head? That was kinda loud.
Fort Frostmoth will never fall. Long live the Empire!
Your pathetic empire couldn't even keep Skyrim in its place. Our spawn, okay. I can see that you have a... I forgot the word for it. Cleaver, right. The word was cleaver. Don't know why I forgot that word. Well, time decays even the greatest of structures, and without the proper maintenance, there is no way that this fort would stand. I was beginning to wonder if those things really were that brainless as they pretended to be. Maybe there was a hive mind behind it all. It doesn't matter. A flawless garment, okay, keeping new mate, and more spawn ash. Wine and ultimate stamina potion, I think. The amulet of kings, something something. Galarian the Mystic. That sounds like a decent read, I believe. Gonna keep that one. What to do with the rest of the books? Burn them. Nordic bow and Daedric arrows. Quite interesting, honestly. I can sleep in that bed. That sounds like a phenomenal idea, considering that I am, well, surrounded by ash, from which enemies have proven to spawn. An emulator. A quick hit to the head. That was good enough to kill. Can't open this, unfortunately. This one, on the other hand, oh, I can definitely break this lock. Okay, good to know, it's somewhere here. Let's try this again. Here. Perfect. Still not enough to level up, unfortunately. Helmet of Magica. Ale, wine, meat, cheese. Quite a lot of stuff. Dang. Silver ore, we don't need that. Ah, a coffin. Now this is a place I can sleep in. There are skeletons inside, which isn't really a surprise now, is it? There's the keyword we're looking for. Nightingale, facts and fictions. Also boots. They look nice, but I don't need them. Ildria's journal. It's been almost a month since unearthing the crypt at Fort Frostmourth, and I haven't seen a single spark of life in the general's remains. Crafting the breaststone to the subject is proving more and more difficult than I originally anticipated. I've used almost every method that I could think of, and there's no sign of reanimation. At this rate, it could be years before I make any progress, which in time that I just can't afford right now. If my vengeance is to come to fruition, I need results. If not, I may need to resort to more drastic measures. It finally appears that I'm making some progress. After my latest experiment, General Carrier's eyes briefly opened and he moved his arms. It lasted for less than a moment, but in the first sign of progress I've seen since I arrived here, a few of my assistants were insisting that I was imagining things, but I dismissed them for their insolence. They won't be breathing anymore ever again. Oh my god, you killed him? General Carriers awoke fully today and bolted upright after my incarnations and began straggling around like a blind man. He seemed to ignore my commands. In fact, hearing my voice seemed to increase his hostility. I was able to remove the heartstone before he became violent. But this isn't the result that I expected. Even though he's able to be awakened, I feel as though the real work has just begun. Day 59. The general is though unable to unwilling to listen to my commands. He is acting increasingly paranoid. It appears that his own free will. He is convinced that I am a spy of the enemy, and that I have restrained him to prevent him from outright attacking me. This is becoming intolerable. I'm beginning to wonder if someone with a heartstone can be commanded at all. If my experiments with the General Carians fail, I may have to resort to self-experimentation, something I've been avoiding for a long time. Self-experimentation. Well, that sounds nice. I can't wait to find this guy. Deadly sword of exhaustion. It glows in green. That looks kind of creepy. I believe it drains stamina. Well, nothing to do but climb up. Now that we have the key, I'm able to reach the highest places of this keep, and perhaps I will be able to defeat the source of all evil. Also, there is a cave here I haven't explored. Might as well start from there. Oh, look at that. Spiders. Albino spiders? Huh. Okay. I can't loot this one apparently. Ruby Jeweled. Okay, can't wait to see if this is gonna give me some rubies or not. It seems like the right thing to do. Yes. 2 rubies. One of them was for lawless. One from here. Not bad. So, what is this heartstone thing? Those are the small bullets I'm extracting. Well, the people of this town are lucky that I happened to swim by. Otherwise, they might have been buried beneath the dead. So I wonder, how did those ash swarms actually spawn under the crypt there? It is obvious that they have been experimented on here, and I can understand them spreading throughout the land, but the crypt, that was locked. This guy's powerful, or was.
Failed.
Small antlers, can use you. Dead brand. Keeping this book. Cochrane Dead brand. There is a treasure there. Champion's cudgel. A random elemental attack. That's quite a strange effect. Cast iron pot. Hammer and anvil. Wild elves. Cake and the diamond. Palavol on 1. Okay. Where did you go? Critical. Good. Thanks for the amethyst as well. Truly is appreciated. Okay, where to next? Now the general was here. There is a chest behind him. I don't remember if I unlocked it or not. Apparently not, because there is gold inside. Now I can loot his hammer, but not his armor. Well, since I can take it, I might as well, right? Back to So's time. Now, that was fun. Can't deny that. Are there any more enemies nearby? I noticed a glow as my armor turned black and then sparked back to life, as if there was a hostile enemy nearby that suddenly vanished. Okay, let's continue. There is another fort, not very far from here. Perhaps there I will find something else to do. And also there is a shield, which I am not sure what it means. Perhaps a stronghold of sorts. And the house. Adventure simply never ends, does it? Also, since it's night now... Oh! A Daedra temple. Right, since it's night now, my stamina and magicka increase. And I'm able to withstand all foes, even the dragons. It seems like there is something here. Perhaps beneath. There it is, an ash spawn. Well, I've taken it down. You know, this is interesting because I'm... Wait a second, so I can't proceed from here. Interesting. A little weird. Okay, thank you. Love it when I do that with the mace in the face of the enemy. Very satisfying. I thought I heard something. I like how they suggested that I die. Or at least that's how it sounded to me. Thank you. Shock resistance, flawless sapphire. Necklace of eminent haggling. Prices are better. Sure. Again, I have so much money that I don't care if the prices are better or not. Hello, level 100. If I could just open it, thank you. I did not level up. East Empire Pendant. Well, ain't that just precious? There should be more pendants that I need to find, but for now, this one should suffice. Yellow crypt cluster. Also, there are spider eggs in here, which means there should be spiders, right? Now, the island isn't small. Well, compared to Skyrim it is, but it's definitely not small. Frost crows. Seriously? Yeah? So that might actually be snow. Not ash. Right.
Fine.
It doesn't hurt. Okay. Let's return to Captain something. But first let's spend the night in the inn, or not. The bulwark.
Damn ash.
Ooh, I can bite him.
What news do you bring from Fort Frostmoth?
Yeah, the general was dead.
I had my suspicions that he was undead. How else could he have survived for over 200 years? It's a shame. There are quite a few tales of General Carius's exploits, including the founding of Raven Rock.
You know, he could have been a vampire. They never age. Also, they can be cured. So, when you're a vampire, time suddenly stops for you, does it? He will no longer send ash spawn to Raven Rock.
Councillor Morvain told me to give this to you if you made it back in one piece. And you got rid of General Carius. Better than a soldier's pay, so you should be thankful.
10,000 gold! This place is amazing. Did you need something from me?
I'm sorry to bother you, but Second Councillor Rano asked me to come find you. He said it's quite urgent.
I am listening.
All he wanted me to do is track you down and send you to him. Look, this is important. Even more important than wiping out the ash spawn. Please, go speak to the Second Councillor as soon as possible.
Well, let's hope that I don't disturb him while he sleeps and then he banishes me because I've broken the law or something. That'll be stupid.
Councillor Morvain is the only reason Raven Rock has survived all these years. You should pay your respects.
Okay, the only reason.
Thank you for coming. After everything you've already done for Raven Rock, I hate to ask for more, but I can't risk Councillor Morvain being killed.
He's in danger. How?
The Ulan family of House Lalu, a rival great house, has placed a death mark on the Councillor's head.
A death mark?
It's a private matter. Let's just say they seek revenge for the execution of one of their own, ordered by Councillor Morvain himself. The problem is I don't have any solid proof that anyone from House Lalu is hidden among us. Only my suspicions.
He ordered the execution. It's on his head, not yours.
Now that's just ridiculous. As second councillor, it's my responsibility to protect Councillor Morvain from harm. I'm afraid that one day I'll awaken and discover him dead. And I don't want it to come to that.
You feel an attack on the council was imminent.
I do. I've received some information from my sources that there could be elements of Ulan's house, House Lalu, already in Raven Rock.
And you haven't acted on this.
Raven Rock is a small settlement, so it's hard to accomplish anything in secret. If any of them is from House Lalu, I wouldn't be able to make a move without them knowing.
Very well. I shall help.
I had a feeling you'd be willing to listen to me.
Do I begin somewhere or?
I need you to start out by being my eyes and ears. Search Raven Rock and see if you can root out these traitors. The best place to start would be Geldis Sadri, over at the Retching Netch Corner Club. If he provides you any leads, check them out before bringing them to my attention. I can't afford to make any mistakes.
Okay, what can you tell me about House Halal?
Traitors. A lot of them. Their collaboration with the Empire may have given them unrivaled political and economic strength, but their hearts weren't with the Dunmer people.
I presume that was their downfall.
Lalu deserved every bit of hatred they received once the Empire released its grasp on Morrowind. Having past ties to the Empire immediately turned them into the scapegoat for the Dunmer people's suffering.
Sounds logical. What happened to the house?
They had welcomed the Empire with open arms and benefited from it. When everything was said and done, they were no longer recognized as a great house and were dismissed from the council.
You mentioned your sources.
I maintain a few contacts in other Dunmer settlements across Tamriel. Most hail from House Redoran, but there are a few from other houses.
Why don't you ask them to investigate?
Most of my contacts live leagues away from Solstein. Sending the occasional message back and forth is all we can manage, and sometimes takes months or more to arrive. However, any information we can glean in times like this, I consider vital to House Redoran's survival.
So why do the Dunmer hate the Empire so much?
During the Oblivion Crisis, gates to the Plane of Oblivion opened all over Morrowind. The Empire pulled most of its forces out of Morrowind to deal with the gates in their own homeland, leaving us virtually defenseless. We had no standing army at the time, just uncoordinated pockets of resistance.
And you survived all of this?
House Redoran took charge and was slowly able to build an army. It took years, but it became a force to be reckoned with. When the Argonians invaded years later, House Redoran's army was able to prevent them from sweeping across all of Morrowind. It would be fair to say that House Redoran literally saved the Dunmer people from destruction.
Awesome.
Don't worry, you can trust Geldis. He's been with us for a long time.
Oh, right. There is also one more thing I needed. Search treasures in a place, which we will. Bring a follower to Delphine, okay. Recover bond mode formula for Glover Mallory. Okay, let's start with these guys.
He grows ever near to
Our
us.
eyes once were blinded.
Now through him do we
Our
see.
hands once
So you worship that thing. Well, good to know that you're not just stupid, you're also lunatics. Right.
Citizen.
I like how they call me citizen. With absolute disgust. Right, first, you.
Welcome to the Retching Netch Corner Club, home of the finest Sue Jammer that will ever grace your lips.
Right, I want a room.
Sure thing. It's yours for a day. Come back anytime. My doors are always open.
Is this the room I hired? Nope. There you go. Right. So, let's read that book and go to bed. Outwind is real. Dragonborn before the ages of man. Darkness. Deadbrand. Hearken, Deadbrand was dying, for Garluk Widerime ship's quartermaster. It was unthinkable. His grandfather had served under Hakren, knight of 60 years, before and even then he was a legend amongst the pirates of the North. The king of ghosts, they called him. As eternal, pitiless as the sea he sailed. To Garuk, who had seen him charge into battle clad in armor glamoring Skyrim, like the kings of old, his twin swords cycling men like glass, Hakren was practically a god. But none feared Hakren more than his own crew. They knew his rages, his fits of madness, how he delighted in torture and murder for its own sake, and there were even darker rumors. Some said he fed upon the blood and souls of those he kills to extend his unnatural life. Some thought him a Daedra, loosed upon the mortal world. Another said he owed his life and power, his armor and sword to a pact with Dagon, Prince of Destruction, and the seal of the pact was terrible wound, a scarred face, never to heal, the dead brand, which no man could look upon within flinching. All these things ran through Garung's mind as he took his place on the deck and head of the crew, exchanging a curt of nod with Talon, the ship's helmsmaster and his chief rival. By sundown he thought one of them would be captain, the other would be dead. When Hakren finally emerged from the cabin, the crew fell silent. He looked frail, his voice raspy, but even so, he had a presence about him. And he looked over his men, a most brutal murderers ever to ply the northern seas. Not one could meet his gaze. At last he cited, "You wish to know who will be the successor, and how my share of the treasure shall be divided." That was the question, but even so, there were murmurs of protest. Hamrick cut them off. "All these years I have looked for one who was worthy to take my place or strong enough to take it from me. Not one of you even comes close, and so none of you shall have it." He extended his hand in Dragon's name, a place of curse upon his armor, and my sword, this ship and all of its carriers, until the day when one of you can best me in combat, you shall have not a single coin. He looked up at them. "Be grateful I have left you with your lives." Garuk and Thalim shed a single glance. Had anyone else said such a thing, there would have been mutiny. 100 treasure-mauled pirates against an old man. But this was Hakren. The crew was silent. Hakren threw a map on Garuk's feet. "Garuk, take a long boat and hurry my armor in the places I have marked Thane. We sail to my tomb, where you shall leave me with my gold. Then burn your ship, and do as you will. I am your captain, no more." And with that he turned and stalked back to his quarters. At daybreak Garuk took his leave, and set out in a long boat with 3 of his men. They landed on shore, to the north of Solstheim, at a place Hakren had marked, made camp and began to dig. But already greed stirred in Garuk's heart. Time and again he glanced at the iron-bound chest they had brought with them. The old man was gone, perhaps already dead. His orders foolish. That night Garuk pried open the chest and drew out the helm within. The southrim simmered, and the moonlight it was time. Time for the new king of the ghosts to rise. He placed the helm on his head, and he screamed. And it was said, you can hear that screaming still, on the moonlight nights, on the rocky shield of the northern coast of Solstheim. Postscript. This story is one of the last in Harkem's saga. The tales surrounding his life, adventures, and legendary pirate king Hakon's death, brand. How much of it is still true, it is indeed any of it so, I leave to the reader's discretion. Artist Dauren, House Rabrown, Scribe. Okay, and with that, I'm going to end this episode. So, thank you all for joining me, and I'm gonna see you all for the next one. Goodbye.